Camping country, make the outdoors yours.
Michael, and I'm owner and manager of our local family business here called Camping Country Australia, based on Queensland's naturally refreshing Sunshine Coast. With summer coming on, the ever-elusive tarp is going to take place in our campgrounds. But it is the guy rope of a tarp that is the Achilles heel to everything working. And if you don't get the guy ropes right, nothing works. What I get asked often is, how far should these guy ropes be from the pole out? And look, there is no real set answer, but I can give you this fact. The further out a guy rope is from your pole, the better it will hold. The closer it is to a pole, the worse it is. If we run a guy rope from our tarp straight to the ground, and this pole starts to move, it's actually going to lift the peg out more easily. So therefore, the further out it is, the better it is. When we're talking about how far from the pole out is the guy rope, and there's no set length, what I do is I measure them all out with a collapsed tent pole. This is a 7'6" tent pole. I lay them on the ground and I measure them out. What that does is that gives me a consistent amount of distance all the way down the tarp. Now these tarps are like a sail on a yacht. You put a big sail on a yacht and it doesn't take much wind to move tons of weight through that water. A tarp's no different. You get a little bit of breeze under a tarp and it starts to act like a sail and bloat. That's why you should always put springs on your guy rope. Springs absorb energy and they take the stress off everything else. The first thing is a peg will pull out of the ground. Peg pulls out, the tarp collapses. And the second place is your D-rings or your eyelets. So springs really do protect guy ropes at all costs. Must have springs and guy ropes. I did learn a little hint from a old farmer out Yassway in New South Wales. He told me, watch this closely. This is your guy rope. What we're going to do is we're going to take the guy rope around behind the pole, underneath, back up on top. And then we're going to tighten this guy rope. It keeps the tarp down, the anchorage on the pole. And I was talking about getting some wind under this tarp and acting like a sail. If it ever does lift this up, it shoots the pole outwards. Now that's great for me. I've got young kids inside my camp. I don't want the pole flicking in and hitting the kids. So when I get to a campsite and I want to set up a tarp, I want it done quickly, easily, and it's all about preparation. The first thing I do when I'm packing them away is I release the guy rope and undo it totally. I then grab the rope runner, lay it on the spring, and I wind it up the spring. And then I wind it back down the spring. When I get to that point, I put it through the top loop of the spring and it's ready to go. There is nothing worse than getting to a campsite ready to set up a tarp. You're pulling the guy ropes out of the bag or the box and they're a tangled mess. The great thing about this is we take that out, we unravel it, we position the guy rope in place and it's ready to go next time. Alright, that's my little talk on guy ropes, the Achilles heel to a beautiful tarp setup. I hope you've learned something. You can check us out at www.campingcountryaustralia.com.au, and any questions you have, get hold of me. I'm Jared Michael. I'd love to help you out. Anyway, talk soon. Thanks.